students, my name is Hitesh Nagarasheth. I am from Manavara. So last class we discussed about a topic from 9th standard, that is force and Newton's laws of motion. So in force and Newton's laws of motion we already discussed about what is meant by force, what is Newton's first law of motion, inertia, Newton's second law of motion and momentum. So those things I explained in the online classes. So better you have to read again all these things. Also I sent that notes also, you have to refer that one. So let us move on to the next topic, that is mathematical formulation of Newton's second law of motion. That is mathematical formulation of Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Yes. So we already know about Newton's second law of motion, that is the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force, applied force. So we already know that one. Also we discussed some of the examples based on Newton's second law of motion. Also we discussed about momentum also. So here we have to discuss about the mathematical formulation of Newton's second law of motion. In online class also I derived small part of the Newton's second law of motion. So here it is the complete part. Here it is using this condition, that is when an object is in initial condition and in the final velocity. So what happens in this case? So how can take that rate of change of momentum and how can we take change of momentum? So we have to know in this case. So here we have to consider an object of mass m. So firstly I will consider an object of mass m here. So likewise, so this is the object of mass m. So initially is having a velocity u. So for example, consider it a rest. If it is in rest, we have to consider its initial velocity, that is u is the initial velocity. So here we have to consider that one. Suppose, so firstly we have to write the description of that cases. That is suppose an object of mass m moving with a velocity u. Let us take u, moving with a velocity, initial velocity is u. You can take, whether it is in rest or whether it is in moving, we can take anything. But here I am considering it as a u only. So suppose an object of mass m moving with a velocity u, moving with initial velocity u. Then what about momentum? So then the momentum will be, yes. So here I will take it as a pi, because p initial I will take. P means it's a momentum, we already know that one. So here we are representing p in case of momentum. Pi is equal to mass into velocity. What is the velocity here? M into u. So I will consider this as equation number 1. Yes. So here what we have to do, we have to apply a force here. So we know that one rate of change of momentum is applied force. So that means rate of change of momentum causes because of the application of forces. No. So for that we have to apply some magnitude of force here. Some magnitude of force we have to apply here. So let us take this one. Yes. So here, this is the second case here. That means the same object it is. So here I am considering a force F. So consider a force F. It is applied on the mass M. The same mass M here. At an interval of time t. At an interval of some time t here we have to take that one. Yes. So here, apply a some amount of force or some magnitude of force at an instant, f we can consider it as a vector quantity. So f at an instant of time, at an instant of time t. Yes. So here we applied some amount of forces here in some direction. So after application of force, the velocity of an object changes. The force, the applied force result, the change in velocity or change in acceleration occurs here. So that means after the application of force, the velocity of an object changes. The velocity of an object changes. I will consider it as a v. So here, after the application of force, yes, the same mass it is. So sometimes it's looking like different. Okay, here I am considering the same mass it is. Those three masses are same. So those three objects are one and the same here. So I am considering the same mass here. These three are not different objects. These three are the same object. So here it is before application of force, at the instant of application of force, and after application of force. So these three are the different cases of an same object. Yes. So here it is same mass here. So the object moves in some velocity v. So here I am considering it as a v. Moving with some velocity v. Here it is small v. So don't confuse with small v and capital V. Yes. So after the application of force, object moves with the velocity v. So then momentum, I will take it as Pf because final momentum we have to take. Then momentum will be Pf. Pf is equal to m into v. I will consider this as equation number 2. Yes. So let us consider the statement of Newton's second law of motion. That is, according to Newton's second law of motion, we have the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force, applied force here. We know that. So initially we have to take the change in momentum. Only the change in momentum we have to take. Before that we have to write the statement of Newton's second law of motion. That is, according to Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to applied unbalanced force. Applied unbalanced force, we have applied unbalanced force. Applied unbalanced force. So this is the Newton's second law of motion. Statement of Newton's second law of motion. We already discussed that. Yes. So firstly we have to take the change in momentum. So rate of change of momentum I will take in the next part. So firstly I will take the change in momentum. What happens in the change in momentum? Change in momentum is directly proportional to. Is directly proportional to. So when we take directly proportional to means it is not equal. So there are some of the factors we have to multiply that. So then after that the change in momentum and the LHS and RHS will be equal. So when we don't know about which is that multiple, so then we have to write directly proportional to. So that means here the change in momentum increases, the LHS increases, RHS also increases. Those two are directly proportional to each other. So let us take that one. So change in momentum is equal to the change in momentum means, so here it is, initially it is a P1 Pi it is, after that it becomes Pf. That means what is the change here? So we have to subtract Pi from Pf. So we get the change in momentum, that is Pf minus Pi we have to take. So then substitute those two values, Pi is equal to Mu and Pf is equal to Mv, we have to substitute that. Mv minus Mu. Then directly proportional to, so here we can take out M from both. Because M is common for both, that's why we can take M from both here. So M into V minus U, that is change in momentum. So this is change in momentum we have. So we consider this as equation number 3. Yes. Then, so I will run here. Then we want the rate of change of momentum. So that means rate, when we take rate, so when we divide it by t, so that means when the any parameter or any formula that we will divide it by t means, so then we have to consider it as, we are consider it as the rate of change of that quantity. For example, displacement, the rate of change of displacement means velocity, the displacement by time. And when we have a distance, when we take a time interval, so when we divide it with the time interval, then we have to consider it as speed, that means rate of change of distance. Also we have acceleration, so rate of change of velocity. So in that case, initially we divided with the t, so the change in momentum divided with, change in velocity divided with t means, so we get the acceleration. Likewise here also we have to take the rate of change of momentum means, so we have to divide it with t here. So that is the rate of change of momentum. The rate of change of momentum is equal to, here change in momentum and the rate we have taken here. So let us take directly proportional to, and M into V minus U. So because of the rate we have to take the t here divided by t. Yes. So just look at here, V minus U by t. So we looked at somewhere here. So because in the last chapter in motion, so that is in case of acceleration, the rate of change of velocity, so V minus U by t we taken there. So that means this quantity V minus U by t, we can replace it as A, that is acceleration. So that is, we know that A is equal to V minus U by t. So here the rate of change of momentum, is directly proportional to, it is M into A here. Yes. So also we know that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to applied unbalanced force. That means, so whatever the force we applied, so that we have to write F. So in place of rate of change of momentum, so we have to write F in place of rate of change of momentum. So F is also directly proportional to, so rate of change of momentum means, so here we have to take in place of force, in place of rate of change of momentum we can take force here. That is, F is directly proportional to M into A. This implies F is equal to K into M into A. So this is the constant of proportionality. That means I told that multiple, so that one is a multiple. So that multiple is the K here. That is where K is the constant of proportionality, where K is constant of proportionality. Yes. So this is the formula for Newton's second law of motion. So we can easily take F is equal to ma. So that is when k is equal to 1. When k is equal to unit, or when k is equal to unity, that is k is equal to 1. So then we can easily take F is equal to ma. So this formula we are using many times here. And from that one we can find out the SI unit also. The SI unit of force is here. F is equal to SI unit of mass is kg and A is meter second raised to minus 2. So also we are call it as a Newton. So SI unit of force is kg meter per second square. It is we call it as a Newton. So this is about the mathematical formulation of Newton's second law of motion. So there are some of the problems are there based on this topic. So let us take some of the problems based on Newton's second law of motion. Let us take the first problem here. So the first problem tells us that calculate the force needed to speed up a car at a rate of 5 meter per second square if the mass of a car is 1000 kg. So here firstly we have to know what are the given terms are there. So the force needed to speed up a car. Calculate the force needed to speed up a car at a rate of, that means the rate of speed it is given. What is the rate of speed here? What is the rate of velocity here? Speed and velocity. When it is in the straight line path, so we can take distance is equal to displacement we are taking. So simultaneously we can take speed is also velocity when the object is in the straight line path only. Yes. So here speed up a car at a rate of speed, that is 5 meter per second square. So that means it is nothing but the acceleration. So A is equal to, so at that time we have to write the given term, that is A is equal to 5 meter per second square we have. Then if the mass of a car is 1000 kg, that is mass is given, M is equal to 1000 kg. 1000 kg we have. Yes. So then we know the formula, that is F is equal to ma. So we can take F is equal to ma. So then when we have the constant of proportionality, only we have taken that k. So here we have to take only F is equal to ma. It is enough. So that is here we have the formula, that is for F is equal to we have to calculate F here. So that's why F is equal to m into a. Before that we have to write, we know that F is equal to ma. Substitute, that is 1000 into 5 meter per second square, no need. So after calculation, after getting the result, we have to write the SI. Must you have to write the SI. Otherwise we won't get the marks for that SI, marks result for that SI. So here it becomes 5000 kg meter second raised to minus 2. So why it is kg, here it is m is there, kg, and a is there, meter per second square. So based on that we have a SI unit. After that you can write 5000 Newton. That is 5000 Newton force is required to speed up a car at a rate of 5 meter per second square. That is 5000 Newton force is needed to speed up a car at a rate of of 1000 kg at a rate of 5 meter per second square. So better to conclude this. So if you are conclude this, means the problem is complete. So complete problem it is. So you solve completely. So likewise. So let us take the next problem. Let's take the second problem here. A truck starts from a rest and rolls down a hill with a constant acceleration. So here it is a truck that rolls down from a hill here. So that means initially it is in the rest state, means the initial velocity 0. So we can take initial velocity is 0. So whatever the information you have to write at that place only. So we can't, then the confusion is clear to you. So when you are solving the problems, so there only you get what is the required thing, what are the known things are there. So let us firstly you have to write whatever the information you have at that case, you have to write at the middle only. So yes, the truck starts from a rest, that means u is equal to 0. It is firstly it is given whether it is useful or not useful, so you have to write. Yes, then rolls down a hill from a constant acceleration. Acceleration is constant, there is no any variation of acceleration here. So here throughout the journey the acceleration is constant, there is no any changes in acceleration. That confusion is clear. Yes, it travels a distance of 400 meters in 20 seconds. When a truck rolls down means, so the truck travels in straight line only, straight line path. So that's why displacement, distance both are same, no change at all. So here we have the information, that is what is the displacement here, what is the time required to take the journey. So here from that we can calculate final velocity also. Yes, let us calculate, that is v is equal to displacement by time, that is 400 divided by 20. So let us calculate that one. So 2 into 20 meter second raised to minus 1. You have to write the unit here. Here it is no need. You can write, no problem. 0 meter per second, sir, no problem. Yes, v is equal to 20 meter per second here. Find its acceleration. You have to find the acceleration. Then also find the force acting on it. That is equal to what? And we have information, that is mass of a truck, that is m is equal to 7 tons. Here 7 into 1000, that means 1 tons is equal to 1000 kg. It is given. So when it is given, you can use that one. So that 7 tons means you have to convert it in kgs, because kg, meter, second raised to seconds are the standard units. That means we have taken it as a SI unit, System International Units. That means universally accepted. All those are universally accepted. When we are taking the length, that means distance, displacement, when you are taking the length, you have to write in a meter, not in a centimeter, not in a kilometers. You have to write in a meter only, whatever the number. Then, in case of mass, don't write in a grams, don't write in a any other units, milligrams, like that. Here you have to write in a kgs, because it is System internationally accepted standard units. So that's why the mass we have to write in a kgs. And then time, so we have to must write in a second. So in one case, so we have 3 means, that means kg is there. So in case the mass is in kg, so also the time in second or time in minute. For example, time in minute, for example. So then length is in meter. So here mass is in kg, SI unit, length is in meter, SI unit, but here the time is in minute. So that's why at that time you have to convert minute to second. How can we convert that one? Multiply with 60, because in 1 minute we have 60 seconds. Multiply with 60, like that you have to calculate. Always remember, so you have to write all the cases in the SI unit only. So here we have to write it in a SI unit, that is 7 tons. 1 tons is equal to 1000 kg, means 7 into 1000 is equal to 7000 kg. So we have to write that. So firstly what we have to calculate? Firstly we have to calculate E, because F is equal to MA, in that we require A. M is given, A required here. So that's why we have to calculate A firstly. So A is equal to V minus U by T. So what is V here? 20 meter per second square, and minus 0 divided by 20. So that means 20 by 20. So likewise 20. So 20 by 20 it is. 20 by 20 is equal to 1 meter per second square. 1 meter per second square. Here it is v is equal to second raised to minus 1. Here it is another second is in the denominator. So after transposing second raised to minus 1, second to the numerator, it becomes second raised to minus 1, second raised to minus 1, second raised to minus 1, second raised to minus 2. I think it's quite related to the algebra. Okay, so from algebra we can calculate easily whatever the unit is. Yes. So then after that we have to calculate force. Here we know that 1 meter per second square. So you can write one by one here. So here I will write one after another. Okay. So here then F is equal to MA. So you have to calculate F is equal to MA here. Then substitute all the values. 7000 kg. 7000. Here it is 1 meter per second. So second square, that is 1. That is 7000 kg meter second raised to minus 2. So that means here we have to apply this amount of force here in this case. So find the force acting on it if its mass is 7 tons. So we found out the force acting on it. That means initially it is in the rest state. So when you have to move this truck, so there you have to apply a 7000 Newton. 7000 Newton of force to this mass or to this truck here. So this is the formulas we can use while solving this problem. So here just observe F is equal to MA. So that means here it is unknown quantities F. We know that M and E. If it is, we know that F we know that, and M we know that, we can calculate it. So if it is, we know that F and A means, so we can easily calculate M. So that means when we have two quantities in this formula, so we can find out third quantity also. So there are many problems are there based on this Newton's second law of motion. So here I will conclude this part. So those who are watching this video for the first time, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Also hit the like button. So thank you and all. Be safe and stay home. Thank you.